Now, you guys know that I am a massive, massive Star Wars fan, right? You guys know that it's my lifelong thing. My earliest childhood memories, my mom showing me the original Star Wars film. That's as early of a memory as I have. Then I don't have any more memories till long after that. I think my next earliest memory is finding out that they were making another Star Wars movie. And of course, they were making Return of the Jedi. Well, anyway, we got Mandalorian and Grogu coming out. And you guys know I've had my doubts about Mandalorian and Grogu, right? Like making your first theatrical film in 7 years being Star Wars. That's just a continuation of a TV show that did not end well. Like season 3, like I love season 1 and 2. I think I like season 2 a lot more than most people do, but season 3 was not good. It had its moments. It had a few good things about it, but overall, it was not great. And the fact that you're making that the whole idea of, you know, your first theatrical film in a long time, I've just had my doubts about how good it could be. Although my doubts about how good it can be are offset by the fact that the great Jon Favreau is directing it, right? Like, and I said, as long as Jon Favreau is directing it, I'll hold out hope for it because I love Jon Favreau. But the main thing I've had my doubts about was how big could it be at the box office? Because if somebody who hasn't watched the show, and not everybody has watched Mandalorian and Grogu, are they going to go out to the movies to go watch it? Or are they going to think, no, I'll just be lost if I go see it? Not to mention, I think there are a lot of people who do watch Mandalorian and Grogu and were turned off by the 3rd season and may not come back for this. Not to mention, the marketing hasn't been great for Mandalorian and Grogu yet. Has not been great. Now, I got turned around a little bit at CinemaCon last week, when they showed us not only the new trailer, which I thought was pretty good, but they showed us the first 17 minutes of Mandalorian and Grogu. And I'm going to tell you, the first 17 minutes were pretty damn good. It was actually really damn good. It was the one thing that has given me the most hope. So how will it do? How will it do? Well, according to stories out there, there are conflicting reports about how big they're expecting Mandalorian and Grogu to be on its opening weekend. Now, right now, there are 2 main box office predictors that are predicting 2 different, although not super wildly different, opening weekend numbers. So you have Box Office Theory that is projecting Mandalorian and Grogu could open up to around anywhere between $71 and $85 million opening weekend. Now, for most movies and most directors, they would kill to have a movie that opens at $70 to $85 million. Absolutely kill. Now, that is different, though, from Box Office Pro, which is projecting anywhere between $90 to $100 million opening. So you've got one forecaster saying anywhere from like 75 to 85 or 71 to 85 million. And then you've got another forecaster that's saying anywhere between 90 to $100 million. And again, let me emphasize this. Almost every director in the history of Hollywood, 99% of directors in the history of Hollywood have never had a film open between 80 and $100 million. Like, I don't want us to lose fact of the sight that that's a big opening. It's just not a massive opening when you consider that it's a Star Wars movie. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. I know a lot of us have weight loss goals, but actually hitting them, that's the hard part. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen. And when combined with diet and exercise, Wegovy can help you lose up to 20% or more of your body weight by helping regulate your appetite so you eat less. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets tickets delivered straight to your door, no insurance needed. Plus, you get 24/7 access to your care team and in-app support like meal plans, recipes, fitness videos, and more. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for a 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit hims.com. Because as we look at the numbers, it is, depending on which one you're looking at, this Star Wars movie, this Mandalorian and Grogu, could end up being the lowest opening weekend out of all of the Disney era Star Wars films. The lowest opening weekend for all the Disney era Star Wars films. Because, as we see, Star Wars, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, a movie I love, by the way. I'll debate anybody about that any day of the week. I love that movie. I remember me and John Schnepp went to go see it a whole ton of times. We would go on our lunch breaks to go watch it. Anyway, that movie opened to almost $250 million. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, opened to $220. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which I hate that movie. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It still had a really great opening weekend at $177 million. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, which is probably, I don't think it's a big hot take to say Rogue One is probably the best. Like, I love The Force Awakens, I do. But I don't think it's a big hot take to say that Rogue One is probably the best of the Disney era Star Wars films, because that movie is spectacular. I love Rogue One. And of course, Andor came after that and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but then you see that the lowest opening weekend for a Star Wars movie was Solo, A Star Wars Story at $84.4 million opening weekend. Again, most filmmakers in their lifetimes will never make a movie that opens at $84 million. But for a Star Wars film, it's clearly low on the totem pole. It ended up being the only Star Wars movie in history, live action, that actually lost money at the box office. And a movie I said from day one when they announced it that this is not a movie they should have been making, even though it turned out pretty good. I think Solo is a fun space adventure movie. I think it's a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it's still a movie they never should have made. Be that as it may. So as we're looking at these numbers again, if box office theory is correct, and it's going to open anywhere from 71 million to 85 million, we are looking at a reality here that Mandalorian and Grogu could very well end up being the lowest opening weekend ever. But even if we go with Box Office Pro's number, which is calling for anywhere between 90 and 100, which is better, it still only barely puts it over Solo, a Star Wars movie, and far under Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Now, I got to say this. Even Box Office Theory's number, which is like 71 to 85, I have to admit that's even, let's say it gets 80 opening. That would be the worst opening for a Star Wars film ever, but at least for the Disney era, I got to say that would still be more than what I would have thought about a month or two ago. Like, I have to admit that. Like, you guys who have been watching me, you know that my expectations for how big Mandalorian and Grogu will be have been very tempered, right? Like, I just don't see a whole ton of people running out to go see this. And if it does make 80 or more, I have to admit that's better than I would have thought it would do. Now, look, again, let me circle back around to this. The first 17 minutes they showed us for Mandalorian and Grogu were really great. Like, it's what Star Wars should be. Listen, to me, at its heart, and I know not everybody agrees with me, and that's totally fine. At its heart, Star Wars is not sci-fi. I mean, not really, not in the way that, Dune is sci-fi or 2001 is sci-fi. I don't really consider Star Wars so much to be sci-fi. Just because something's in outer space doesn't necessarily mean it's sci-fi. But I've always kind of considered Star Wars to be an adventure, more like Indiana Jones. Like, I find Star Wars to be more like Indiana Jones than I do than its similarities, say 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? And so I've always kind of considered Star Wars more of an adventure series. And when I'm watching the first 17 minutes, Ryan puts it really well. It's a space western. Yeah, especially Mandalorian. But yeah, in many ways, it's a space western. Like, even George Lucas said, like, one of the main inspirations for Star Wars was Seven Samurai and, a bunch of other things. So I really look at it as an adventure. And so when I'm sitting there watching the first 17 minutes of Mandalorian and Grogu, I was really, remember, I've been very critical of this and saying I've had my doubts about this movie, but I was swept up in the adventure of it. I really was. And so, listen, I'm telling you, these numbers right now, if it can come in over 80 and beat out Star Wars a Solo a Star Wars story, I'll be impressed. I'll be really impressed. It's way more than I thought it would. But I don't know, like, maybe the new marketing is picking up steam and people are getting excited about it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It is possible. It looks like there's a good possibility, depending on who you're listening to, that Mandalorian could end up being the lowest opening weekend for a Disney Star Wars era film. And even at the high end, it's only going to beat Solo. It'll come in well below Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Do you think that's surprising? Maybe yes, maybe no. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.